our Facebook page as well, as we do upload the Facebook page each and every day here. As well, my mic keeps dropping for some reason. That's just weird. But nonetheless, guys, we are here to party tonight. Let me get the behind the scenes footage here working for everybody. And bada bing, bada boom, there it is. So behind the scenes footage tonight will be over on youtube.com if you are a member. How do you become a member? You simply head over to youtube.com/manhour, hit that join button. We have 4 different stages of membership, and membership starts at 99 cents. You get discount merchandise, you get access to one after show a week, you get access to a bunch of other perks, free keychains, free there's a bunch of free stuff that you get with the 99-cent package there. But then the real deals start happening at $2.99. So at $2.99 you get access to the Tori and Wyatt weekly fantasy football show. That is going to be ramping up as our Man Hour draft is coming up very, very soon here. So if you are interested in joining in the Man Hour fantasy football here, slide into my DMs at manhour_buck on the old Twitter machine. Drop me your email, and Wyatt will be sending you a email out when the draft happens. It is happening this Sunday, 8 p.m. East Coast time. So with all that being said, that's the $2.99 deal. Of course, you get all the perks still, the discounts, with addition to the fantasy football podcast. Weekdays, Wednesday at 10:45 a.m. And then $5.99 deal. That is when you start getting clothing, you get merch. After 6 months of being a member, you get a free t-shirt, a free Man Hour t-shirt. I'm not wearing my Man Hour t-shirt tonight, but after 6 months of service, we send you a DM, we ask for your address, and bada bing, bada boom, we order it, we send it to you, you get whatever one you want. But also, guys, starting right now, you get access to the free Vegas trip drawing that we are getting. That is right. So if you are a $5.99 member or higher here on youtube.com/manhour, you automatically get entered into the Vegas drawing. What is that, you ask? So this year, Man Hour is going to the 2022 NFL Draft, and we want to take one of the Man Hour Nation along with us. We will be paying for your flight and lodging during that trip. We cannot guarantee you into the draft because it is a first-come, first-served basis at the draft. So we've heard people waiting up to 8 hours to get into the draft. So it's absolutely crazy, absolutely asinine to get into something like that. But nonetheless, we are giving that away. Also, you can get additional entries if you simply like the Facebook page, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Like, obviously, if you are a member, you should be subscribed to the YouTube channel. Share this. We get notifications every time people, do share stuff. So we see everything. We get everything. You get additional points. So we also give away weekly prizes from now until Super Bowl Sunday. That is when the drawing to Vegas is, and you get weekly prizes by the top point getter. So how do you get points? Points, you asked. You simply comment. And all that good stuff here, just like as we just saw Wayne G. 40 minutes here on the Man Hour with That's Debatable topic here tonight. Really excited to have him on because he always puts on a great show for us here. So I have to adjust a few things here, get it organized, and bada bing, bada boom, and there we go. Now I'm seeing things here. So then the $99 deal, guys, that is the ultimate Man Hour deal. You get behind the scenes footage. So when we go to break here in roughly 5-10 minutes here on the first show or first break of the night, you won't have to watch the break or the ads. You can see what we do in the background during the break. So if you are a 99 member right now, simply click on the behind the camera little thumbnail there, bada bing, bada boom, it is there, and you can see everything that is going on and chit chat with us during the break as well. Also, with the 99 deal, you guys get a free hoodie. Every year you are a part of the Man Hour Nation. And then, of course, you get a t-shirt every 6 months as well. So, Drew, the YouTube live feed is happening. You probably try to click on the behind the scenes footage, and you have to be a 99 member to see the behind the scenes footage. So be sure to click on, I believe, what's the title of tonight's show? Daniel Jones Make or Break Season. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about first here on tonight's show. So Drew, what is up? So Drew, if you are a part of the YouTube community, come on here to YouTube and check your subscription notification. Hopefully you are hitting that bell icon so you get notifications every time we do go live. So the first topic of the night, guys, is we are Saquon Barkley went down week number 2 with a torn ACL. He was out for the whole season. And then Daniel Jones, like I feel like they were get worse until they get better type of thing. So with that being said, guys, this is Daniel Jones' 4th year going into the NFL, right? Or in the NFL, and I feel this year is 100% a make or break season for Daniel Jones. If we do not see Daniel Jones grow up this year and be the leader that we know that he can be for the New York Football Giants, he is out of there. We are going to see basically the Giants ship him out, just like the New York Jets did with Sam Darnold. If he has another, let me constitute of like what is a successful season for Daniel Jones moving forward. Daniel Jones' successful season is not going to reflect in the win-loss column. It is going to reflect these stats on like on him this year. He needs to have Eli Manning type of stats or not tonight, but this year we're talking, 3,500 yards, 25 touchdowns, maybe 10 interceptions tops. I mean, that has to be his season year to be around in New York after this season. And I think if he doesn't have a make season this year, he will no longer be in the NFL, because I don't think he will be a valuable backup anywhere. I mean, if you guys simply sit back and look at it, what team right now can use a valuable backup? Very, very few, right? I mean, maybe I would say Seattle, but Russ is in year 10 or about year 8 of his of his deal. So you would basically be overpaying for a very high priced backup like at this point. So Daniel Jones has to have a great year to be successful in the NFL moving forward. Simply point cut as that. So let me answer a few questions here that are popping up on the YouTube and Facebook page. Wayne G says, solo show tonight? No, sir. Mr. Wyatt Williams will be on at 8:15 tonight as we do cover more sports headlines. We are going to talk Teddy Bridgewater, Trevor Lawrence, and of course Mac Jones. They all appear to be, the first two are starting, and Mac Jones appears to be a starter moving forward. So we will talk about that. And then, of course, Wayne G, we got you coming on at 8:45 East Coast time here to talk about That Is Debatable. So this will be my first time talking with you on that. I'm very, very excited. So, guys, just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. We are going to take our first break of the night. If you are watching us here on the behind-the-scenes footage, I do see a couple people popping in on there. What's up, Man Hour Nation people? Give me a hashtag Man Hour if you guys are watching us here on the YouTube. So, with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and go to our first break as we wait for Wyatt to join us here at the 8:15 hour, and we'll definitely dive into Trevor Lawrence, Teddy Bridgewater, and of course Mac Jones and the New England Patriots, guys. We'll be right back here on the Man Hour. That is the goal was to get 1,700 subs by October, and we're 6 away right now, so 99.65%. So hopefully. There he is. I want to make sure shit's working real quick.
Can't hear you. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Boom, there it goes. Okay. I got sound now. What's going on?
So we're getting from break. We're going to talk about Bridgewater next. Or sorry,
okay.
Trevor Lawrence.
What are we talking about?
Trevor Lawrence starting. Good or bad for the Jets. Just follow my lead like normal volume. You got it, man.
Your mic sounds weird.
Because I'm on my webcam. On this. We are on the behind the scenes footage. We're getting ready to actually, we talk about And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. I forgot to mute my mic during the break there, so if you guys catch some of that, it is some of the after show there. I was answering some of the questions there and whatnot, but we do have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Wyatt Williams, has decided to join us tonight here for the first week of school going so far, man. Like, are you able to do stuff, man? How's the first week of school?
On me.
How is the first week of school treating you so far?
First week of school so far? I mean, it's good, man. Just kind of getting adjusted, going to all the different orientations and everything. I found a little 2-hour window between orientation today to go golf today with some friends and Nikki, which was awesome. The golf courses down here are ridiculous. They're beautiful, expensive, but they're really cool. So got in my first Florida round of golf today. That was fun. And yeah, just getting acclimated to the area, getting acclimated to school and stuff. I get my official schedule tomorrow, so we'll know about all the classes and everything when that comes around.
All right, so we officially know that Trevor Lawrence has been named starter here at Jacksonville. He is the Jacksonville Jaguars starting here, week one, which is what, like 14 days away. We have week 3 of preseason obviously left. But Wyatt, I watched the Trevor Lawrence play last, I believe it was Monday night game versus the Saints. I believe it was, but he looked absolutely trash. I know you were on the show and said he looked all right. Yada. He looked like trash. Let's just be flat out honest. Honest, Wyatt. You can sugarcoat it all you want, but I'm going to ask you this question first: is Trevor Lawrence being named starter good for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward here in 2021?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, even if they weren't, it's only prolonging the inevitable. It's simple as this: they use the round 1 pick 1 on this guy. So when you use that high of a pick, really, whenever you use a first round pick on a quarterback, you're using that pick on a guy who can walk in day 1 and can start. Now, a lot of people aren't going to go with that, and sometimes it's better to not let them start. But I'm just saying, when you use a first round pick on a quarterback, that is because he is capable of walking in and starting day 1. And that's the way that Trevor Lawrence is. He's capable of coming in and starting. And even if they don't, let's say they do start Gardner Minshew for week 1. It's only prolonging the inevitable.
They're starting Trevor Lawrence. They're starting Trevor Lawrence week.
Oh, no, for sure they are. But I'm just saying, even if they didn't and they started Gardner, it's only prolonging the inevitable. And Trevor's going to be the starter at some point.
Okay, so you are telling me they're only I get it. I mean, you're prolonging the inevitable of Trevor Lawrence starting and being this MVP, the savior of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's never lost. He's going to win a Super Bowl. He's going to win a championship at all 3 levels. I get it, but we also realize that Travis Etienne will at least miss at least 12 weeks of the 2021 season, if not all of it, with a broken foot, more or less what it comes down to. Like, I don't know the scientific doctor term, but it was basically a broken foot what it came down to.
Yeah.
And they drafted Travis Etienne to give him comfortable in the backfield, and now who do the Jacksonville Jaguars have in the backfield? Are they going to go get like a Le'Veon Bell?
No, I think they stick with who they got back there, the Illinois State running back, the former Redbird. That's going to be James Robinson. He had a great season last year. He was able to catch passes out of the backfield. So, he's not as versatile in that stance as Travis Etienne,
Right.
but he can still do that. He runs the rock very well. He's a nice power back. So, no, I don't think they go get – I mean, they very well could to try and fill that passing back void, but I doubt they do that, honestly, because James Robinson already had the strong season last year. I personally, I thought it was a good move because, you always want your quarterback comfortable, but I personally was kind of surprised that they got Etienne at the fact of how great of a rookie year that James Robinson had. So I was surprised from the beginning they made that move. But once again, I understand, you want your quarterback comfortable and all that stuff. So I get why they did it. But no, I don't think that they would go in a different direction simply because of the great rookie year that Robinson had last year, where he showed that he can be a reliable 3-down running back and can carry the workload. I mean, we saw him getting 20 plus carries a game last year, and he was a top stat wise, fantasy football wise. I believe he was a top 10 running back in the league. So right. I mean, he's shown that he can he's shown that he can take the workload. He's shown that he can run the ball very well.
So the question still has to be answered here. Is Trevor Lawrence good for the Jacksonville Jaguars in this 2021 NFL season?
Well, it depends on how you look at good, because I don't think anybody comes in day one and makes this Jaguars team a Super Bowl winning team, no matter how great of a quarterback you are. And I think that goes for anybody. You could bring Patrick Mahomes in, and they're not going to win a Super Bowl this year. I could almost guarantee you that, except for Tom Brady. That's the only guy I think could walk in and win a Super Bowl anywhere. But other than that, no, I think it's very interesting because of the rookie quarterback. That he is, the worst of the rookie quarterbacks or anything. But as of right now, the guy that I really didn't think I was going to say, I think Mac Jones looks the best of all the rookie quarterbacks so far, followed by Zach Wilson. Justin Fields looks really good. And then I'm going to say right there falls Trevor Lawrence's name. So part of that, yes, is because he's behind the Jaguars' offensive line, which, it's not the greatest. He doesn't have some of the weapons that, say, Justin Fields will have in Allen Robinson. So I think good for in the long term, good for the Jaguars. Sure, I mean he's a great quarterback. He's established as a winner. He's a guy who can come in and win for you, and he's a guy who will do that in the long term. So I'm really excited to see what this guy can do in the upcoming future. But yeah, I mean I think for right now he's the best option I think that they had. But I think any quarterback that would have gone at the number one spot would have struggled right off the bat for Jacksonville, simply because it's Jacksonville. He doesn't have the weapons or the protections that some of these other quarterbacks do have.
So you are right in the sense that this is good for the Jacksonville Jaguars moving forward, because Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust, and they're going to get the number one overall pick again next year in the 2022 draft when the Man Hour is there, along with a Man Hour fan. If you are part of Man Hour Nation, simply head to youtube.com/Man Hour. Just click on the join button, and a $9.99 deal will get you entered into that Vegas trip. But with that being said, I mean, we saw it. Trevor Lawrence is not ready to play a NFL game. We saw him missing on passes. We saw him underthrowing people. We did not see him overthrowing anybody. So I kind of question his arm strength a tad bit. And you can say what you want about that offensive line, but in the end, he is going to have to deal with that same offensive line for the next 5 to 8 years at least, because you can't draft. It's just the way it is. I'm not for sure what is going on with my computer right now, but during the break, I'm going to switch.
I lost you, man.
Yeah, I'm going to switch a few things here during the break and like whatnot right before we get Wayne G on. So with Trevor Lawrence as the starter here, Mr. Wyatt Williams, he will obviously be starting week 1. What kind of realistic expectations are we expecting from the Jaguars this season? What kind of record are you looking at?
As an overall record, they do play in a decently tough conference. I know Torrey doesn't like the division. Excuse me, the division. I know Torrey's not a big fan of it, but the Colts are a really good team. They're a Super Bowl caliber team if everybody can stay healthy. And then you've got the Titans, who are a deep playoff run caliber team. They just added Julio Jones with AJ Brown. They've got Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, who's an underrated quarterback. They've got King Henry, which we all know what he can do. Great offensive line and a good defense backing them there. So on top of that, they play in a decently tough division with two contender teams. So I would say somewhere around, best case scenario, I'm going to say ceiling is somewhere around the 8 and 9 range.
What?
And I'm going to say floor is somewhere around the 4 and 13 range.
So you're telling me that the Jacksonville Jaguars, everything goes right their way here in 2021. They'll get 9 wins. They're going to go from a 1-win team to a 8-win team?
8-win team. Yeah.
Okay. Well, Wyatt, you are wrong many times here on the Man Hour, and you are wrong again tonight, because their ceiling this year, Wyatt, it's absolutely like 3 wins. Like, they'll be lucky to get 3 or 4 wins this year tops. They aren't going to win one divisional game because, you know, this division is top heavy with the Colts, and then the Houston and the Titans are kind of right there at 500 team. The Titans are be very, very much overrated this year, just like King Henry will. He will be a bust in your fantasy picks there. So if you guys want to lose your fantasy league, go ahead and draft King Henry. But with all that being said, I mean, three wins, I feel, Wyatt, is about where they're going to be. So you have weight. Like, you have 8 if everything goes correct, and I have 3 if everything goes correct. It would not surprise me if Trevor Lawrence taps out after week 7. He's like, oh man, my shoulders hurting again, because you know, he did have off-season shoulder operation. I believe he repaired his rotator cuff, if I'm not mistaken on that. And you know, when you start losing that, oh man, coach, I can't throw over 10 yards anymore. I better sit the season out. I'm your franchise guy. Gardner Minshew, go ahead and in there and take a few reps, kid.
Yeah.
So
he could
go ahead.
No, I mean, yeah, he could definitely do that. I don't know if we're going to see that though. I don't think we see Trevor do that though. I will say, you know, when you do start losing games, boo-boos start hurting a little more though. So I see where you're coming from, but I don't know, man. This is the NFL where, you know, you give your snaps up so I can take your job. I mean, look at literally. I know this is an extreme scenario, but I mean, look at Tom Brady. Drew Bledsoe goes out, his reps go away for a second,
right, and
Tom Brady never looked back.
Well,
so
I believe
that's
Drew,
just kind of the way the NFL.
Drew Bledsoe was out the whole season though, from like week 10 on or something, because didn't he tear his ACL? I can't remember what he hurt, but he was out for the rest of the season.
He did something. I don't remember what it was, but he got hurt, and either way, even if it would have been a week-long injury, Tom Brady was never coming out again.
Yeah. It is funny that we can say that was before our time when Tom Brady became starter in the NFL. How crazy is that?
That's wild.
All right, so before we move on to our next topic here, let's go ahead and address some of the comments here popping up on the YouTube and Facebook pages here. So Drew wants to say that Trevor Lawrence is better than Gardner Minshew right now. I don't know. Gardner Minshew has some NFL experience. What he was a starter 2 years now, Wyatt. I mean, obviously he lost his starting job when Nick Foles came for that 3 quarters that he played or whatever it was in Jacksonville, and then became starter again in the year before that. So, is Trevor Lawrence better than Gardner Minshew right now?
Yeah, I think so. I think even if we look at it in the long term. Like I said, you drafted him round 1, pick 1. That's your guy. I mean, you spend that is the best draft pick that you can spend on a player, and they did. So you've kind of, you know, you've got to go in that direction if you do that.
Go ahead and give me a hashtag bust in the comments if you think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a bust this season. Drew also said he wasn't terrible, meaning Trevor Lawrence in the game versus the Saints. He started to get into a rhythm.
He wasn't terrible.
He wasn't terrible, but he wasn't good either. I mean, do you want your number 1 overall pick, your first overall pick, to be, oh, he wasn't terrible? I mean, he wasn't bad. Like, come on.
It's like his second game in NFL shoulder pads.
I don't care.
We got to it's a preseason game, too. We haven't even seen this guy in a week 1 game.
We haven't even seen him right here. And, Nana, I do know our sound keeps cutting out. During the next break, I'm going to switch a few things here on my side. I forgot to do some updates before the because I was off all week, obviously, with football practice getting moved up because of the heat. So I will be taking care of that again. So let's go ahead and jump over here to Facebook tonight. Wayne G is active over here in the Facebook. He says, I can hear you guys talking over the commercial. Your butt cuts in and out. Yeah, I'll be fixing that. Thank you guys for that update. Anytime we have something like just like that, guys, let us know in the comments and I will try to address it as soon as I can. Wayne G also says, now Wyatt is being debatable. LOL. G-Fist round picks are not ready to start right away, not Trey Lance. I'm not for sure what he means by that. G-Feist. Maybe he meant first round picks are ready to start right away, not Trey Lance. Do you think Trey Lance is ready to start right away?
I mean, I think what I said was that if you draft somebody with a first round pick, they need to be capable of coming in and starting week 1 for you. And yes, I think any round 1 quarterback is capable of coming in and start. Hence the word capable. I'm not saying that they should or they will, because Trey Lance should not come in right off the bat. I think he needs to take a year and sit behind Garoppolo and kind of get adjusted to the offense. But he is, along with Mac Jones, along with Zach Wilson, along with Justin Fields, and along with Trevor Lawrence, all those guys are capable of walking in day 1 and being a starter right off the bat. That's
who else is capable of walking into the locker room and starting day 1?
Who?
Manhour_Buck. But I never had the ability. I was capable, but I just never had the ability. So just hashtag facts there. So Wayne G, because Wayne G is a Patriots guy, and he is a little bit older than we are, a little bit more seasoned when he's coming on for that's debatable here in about 15 minutes. He says that Drew Bledsoe hurt his finger and came back, but he was benched. So he came back and played and then was benched because he was playing bad. And then he also says any round 7 pick is capable of starting, using the word capable very, very loosely, because everybody's capable of playing in the NFL, but do they have the ability is the question, right, Wyatt?
Yes.
I had the capability to play in the NFL. I just don't have the ability to play in the NFL.
Right.
Right. So speaking of people that do have the ability to play in the NFL, Mr. Teddy Bridgewater has been named starter in Denver, Mile High City as well. How good is this for the Denver? Bada boom. We should be back there. So, how good are the Denver Broncos going to be with Teddy Bridgewater at the helm?
Oh, I think it's the best quarterback option they've got. And this is coming from somebody who was a Drew Lock fan. I still think there's a little bit of potential there, and Drew Lock could be a good quarterback in the NFL. It's just going to take some time and some work. Where he can come in and start for any team in the league. You can throw him in. He is a very adaptable quarterback to any offense. He's a guy that works. He can throw the deep ball. He's very good with the medium. He can run with the short game. We've seen that with the Saints. We saw that, he could run the offense with the Panthers. Now we're going to see it with the Broncos, and he also did with the Vikings. I mean, the guy is a very adaptable to an offense. So I think that this is really good for them, especially if they're looking to start Drew Lock. I think this is even a good thing for that too, because what it does is Teddy Bridgewater can come in, take all the workload, take all the spotlight. And here's the thing. If Teddy Bridgewater comes in and he sucks, oh, great. Drew Lock can go in and Drew Lock can then look good.
Right.
But it also gives Drew Lock that time to where we don't have to just push Drew Lock into that starting spot. Drew Lock can take time to take a breath, learn. He can learn a lot from Teddy. Teddy is a seasoned veteran. Now, he's had a lot of injuries, and right. I think that has, Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion, is the Derrick Rose of the NFL. The injuries have just killed what could have been a good career, which Derrick Rose could have been a great career, but Teddy Bridgewater I think could have been a really good career, a solid career. And I think the injuries have been a real killer for that. So he's a very knowledgeable guy. He's a veteran, and so I think this is a good opportunity for Drew Lock to take a seat. Learn from the guy who's been everywhere. Learn from a guy who's been in multiple different offenses, has seen a lot of stuff on the football field. It's a really good opportunity for Drew, as well as it's a good opportunity for Teddy, because this seems like it's a stepping stone. If Teddy does good here, then it's kind of like the situation with the Saints. You can't really not give a guy like that a look. You know what I mean? I mean, Carolina, of course, gave him the look last year, but didn't really give him anything other than that. You know, they gave him the 3-year deal, and along the road, they just kind of moved on from him, and I was very surprised that they did that. But this is kind of a stepping stone thing, I think. There's going to be a team that is, you know, kind of a quarterback away. They're a quarterback away from being a playoff contender, and we'll see Teddy Bridgewater maybe step into that role coming into this next season. But I think this is a good opportunity for Teddy to really pad his stats, to pad his look, and to get himself a contract down the road. And it's also a really good learning opportunity for Drew Lock for him to sit back, let Teddy do his thing, and open his eyes and ears and learn.
So one thing that I did not think of until Brandon Combs, he brought it up. So we definitely got to give BC a huge shout out on everything that I'm out again. There we go. I am back. So maybe there's some red flags here with old Teddy Bridgewater, just because, you know, I mean, after his horrible knee injury in I know, bud. I know. I don't know what's going on here. But after this, we're going to take a quick little break, and I'll adjust a few things, and we'll be good to go. But like I was saying, like, there's some red flags with Teddy Bridgewater, like I think, and like I don't think he is the guy that you are making him out to be. You are putting him up on this pedestal, kind of like a Alex Smith type of leader, like, hey, I'm going to take this kid under my wing and show him the ropes and lead him the way. And like, I don't think that's the type of person that Teddy Bridgewater is. Teddy Bridgewater is fighting for his NFL career right now, because this is his fourth team, and yes, he did get injured in Minnesota, and like that was horrific injury, and if he wouldn't have got hurt, he would probably still be there, and they probably would have won a Super Bowl by now too, we'll be honest. But he wasn't the man in New Orleans. He wasn't the man in Carolina, and I don't think he's the man in Denver either. There's something lingering over him in a red flag type of atmosphere, like a haze, or something is wrong, and I don't know what. Like I don't know if he has issue with teammates or coaches or whatever, but something is not right with Teddy Bridgewater to be jumping from these teams, because he signed that 3-year deal with Carolina, and then not even a year passed, right? A NFL season passed, and like, oh, we want Sam Darnold instead. And do you think Sam Darnold is better than Teddy?
Yes, yeah, I think that. Okay. I think that, you know, I don't know if I would say he's better, because I think they're honestly about even, but I think that Sam Darnold has more potential because he's younger. But I think skill wise, they're probably about in the same area. I think that Sam Darnold might have the edge by a little bit, but the biggest thing that makes Sam Darnold more attractive than Teddy Bridgewater, first off, is that he doesn't have all the injuries. He doesn't have the injury history sitting behind him. That's number one. And then number two is the age. He's much younger than Teddy.
I get you there. So, Drew, I see your question here, but I'm going to take a quick little break and try to fix this sound issue that we're having, guys. So sit back and relax and enjoy. Watch this a video here by Wayne. And welcome back to the Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckheischer along with Wyatt Williams tonight. Hopefully the sound is much, much better as we are going to adjust a few things here on the show. We're going to bring Wayne G on and talk about That's Debatable. So, Wyatt, are you ready to bring on Mr. Wayne G himself?
Let's do it, man. I can't wait.
Let's do it. All right, there's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Wayne G from Infinity Sports. Wayne, what's going on tonight, brother?
What's going on? I'm wearing my glasses today so I look smarter.
Yeah.
I was actually doing a test earlier today and the writing was really small. I normally don't wear my glasses, so I look smart even if I don't sound smart.
Yeah. I wear mine just to look smart too, and it doesn't work because I'm still just me, I reckon. but nonetheless, Wayne, tell the people what your segment is all about.
So That's Debatable, and the idea came up of maybe I could make some statements. And these aren't hot takes, by the way. I'm not a big hot take guy. These are things that I actually believe, and I'm saying them, and then it's debatable, though, so you guys can debate. And sometimes we'll get fan interaction. I've actually reached out to some of the fans to see what they think is a debatable topic. So I've got some really good ones today that we can debate.
All right, that sounds good. So, Wayne, let's bring up your first topic, man. What is debatable with you tonight?
So this is a great one. This actually came from our guy, Drew Brutsky. Drew actually had reached out to me with some topics. And this one's, I guess, not so much a statement. So this is the first one I have. It's not a statement. But he'd said, the UCLA Bruins, back in the day, the basketball team, right? They won 10 championships in 12 years, 7 in a row at one point. They had 4 undefeated seasons. He said, are the UCLA Bruin basketball team the greatest dynasty in the history of all sports?
Why? We'll let you take the floor first on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely, because if you look at the titles, the UCLA has got more titles in that time than anybody else. So they've got more championships. Also, if you look at the star power that was on those teams, like Kareem was there, the GOAT college basketball coach John Wooden was a part of that. Really knowledgeable basketball guy, an Indiana guy, I might add. So yeah, I would say that's definitely the best dynasty. The only one I could say that maybe I don't even think there's anyone that comes close to that. No, I don't think so.
So Wayne, let me ask you this question, because like I did not watch college basketball way back then. I mean, I've seen like the highlights like of those teams and like the star power and stuff like that. Like, how many seasons did those 10 championships take place?
Over 12 years. They won 7 in a row at one point.
Okay, so they won 10 out of 12 years, right? That's basically what you're saying. So how long had the New England Patriots dynasty been in place? 15, 16 years now?
No, so that's a great question. I was writing down the top dynasties in every sport, and of course for the Patriots.
We're talking about in all sports. I thought it was just college basketball.
Nope, no, all sports.
Oh, okay. Hold on, I rewind then. Okay, Buck, you go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, like I have to go with the New England Patriots just because it is on a professional level here. It is the best of the best players, and like what they were making a Super Bowl every other year for the last 15 years or whatever it
Can I choose like the Tom Brady and Gronk dynasty? Because that one right there is
the Patriots made 10 out of 17.
Right. Yeah, which is mean like obviously 10 and 12 years is a lot better sounding than 10 and 17 years, right?
Right, but it's college, right?
Right. I got to go with the Patriots. Like I think the Patriots dynasty is hands down the best one ever.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow on that one too. I thought we were talking about just college basketball, but no. I think if we got to go with that, I would definitely say the Pats, simply because they were just ridiculous. They're unstoppable, and they were in the pros, and it's harder to win in the pros than it is in college, simply because they're professionals. They're professional athletes. So,
what about your thoughts on that, Drew?
Yeah,
or Wayne?
Yeah. So my thoughts on it were, when he presented this idea, as I said, it's got to be the Boston Celtics. They won 11 and 13 years.
Oh, true.
So they won one extra championship. They won 8 in a row at one point. They won 70% of their basketball games. So the Boston Celtics with Bill Russell, I mean, that was just incredible. I don't think any dynasty, even the Yankees, the Patriots, the Canadians, whoever you want, I think that it's definitely the Boston Celtics. Yeah.
So I got to even think about them because like you and Combs kind of have gone back and forth on this. because guys, when they were winning their championships, weren't there only like 8 teams in the NBA or something?
There were, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, like I'm not trying to take anything away from it, but I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, that was definitely one of the things. There were 8 teams. The thing that I point to is not only were there 8 teams, but the Bill Russell Boston Celtics, the least amount of Hall of Famers that they had on the team at one given time is 5, and they had as many as 8. So that means that they had 3 guys coming off the bench that made the Hall of Fame.
That is absolutely crazy, isn't it? Man, my mouse is all messing up too. All right, so
that is stupid numbers.
So if I could renege #waffle my answer, I'd have to piggyback on Wayne G because I forgot all about the Celtics winning that many championships like in a row. I mean, but I do like the Patriots dynasty as like as well. Wayne G, what is up next, brother?
So what's up next? This is a topic that comes up a lot every year during the draft, and I figured with Travis Etienne getting hurt, being out for the season, this would be a great time to bring up that you should never, ever, under any circumstances, ever take a running back in the first round of the draft.
Oh.
Even if it's your biggest need, even if it's Barry Sanders, you do not take a running back in the first round of the draft.
Why? You are our draft expert, man. I'm getting
Exception of the rule, by the way. I have a whole bunch of, but Zeke is the exception.
Zeke is the exception.
Zeke went at 4, and he's been crazy ever since.
But nobody else has been anything special.
Right. It's definitely a higher risk than it is reward. I do agree with you. I don't know, though. I wouldn't say never, though, because Zeke was that clear-cut guy coming out of college. You could kind of tell. I mean, if the guy is there, I think, if he's capable of going that high, like, for example, a Ezekiel Elliott, if he's capable of going in the top 5, if he's that talented, I don't know if you could pass on a guy like that. I mean, it's like, but I do, and same with like Saquon Barkley. I do see where you're coming from. There's 100% a higher risk than reward. Now, I would say if the guy is capable of going top 10, then yes, I would take that chance. But anything after that, yes, there is a much bigger risk than there is the reward on the back end of that. So I do see where you're coming from. So I think it's situational. I really do. Like, I know this is a huge waffle, but I just think like if you've got an Ezekiel Elliott sitting there, if you've got a Saquon Barkley sitting there, a guy you can come in day one and can just rule the trenches, and he's going to be a top running back in the league, I don't know if you could say no to that, especially if your biggest need is running back like the Cowboys that year. I don't know if you could say no to that, but
this is for fantasy. This isn't real life.
No, real life. I'm saying real life. You never take a running back.
No, he's saying real life, like that.
Fantasy, you definitely take a running back in the first round.
Okay.
Oh, fantasy. That's all I take. First 2 rounds of running backs.
Yeah.
No, I would. I can't give an answer, man. I'm gonna say it's situational. It's
waffle.
situational. That's such a good one. Because I see both sides of the argument.
So Wayne G, can you go ahead and adjust the view, because I'm having major storms roll through here and my internet's messing up and I can't pull back up StreamYard. So
I love not having the worst Wi-Fi anymore.
Yeah, so just just put us on like on the same side screens. That'd be like awesome. But to answer the question correctly, I don't think there is a need to take a freaking running back in the first round anymore. Hell, I don't think there's a need to take a running back in the first 3 rounds, to be honest, because this is a pass-happy league. This is we are looking at the evolution of football as we know it, and every team is a 2-back team almost, to be honest. And I know I'm freezing and going crazy here, but my mic's still working, I think, right, guys? Man, my internet's all messed up right now. So absolutely not, Wayne. Like, I don't think you need to take a running back. I mean, mid-second round is probably the first time I would ever take a running back.
That's what I was kind of thinking. I think 2nd and 3rd round is kind of the sweet spot, because that's where we've seen guys like Derrick Henry. We saw Alvin Kamara, Dalvin Cook, all those guys go in that area. I think that's kind of the sweet spot for me.
Yeah, absolutely. 2nd round. Now, you brought up Saquon Barkley, and I wanted to point out that the New York Giants drafted Saquon Barkley, and since then, they've gone 15 and 33. So was it really a good pick, especially since they passed on Josh Allen, and their quarterback was 36-year-old Eli Manning at the time? So what was a better pick, Josh Allen or Saquon Barkley?
Well, I mean, nobody really knew at that time that Josh Allen was, and Josh Allen wasn't even projected to go there. And Josh Allen went at 7? They had the 2nd overall pick.
Yes.
So that at that time, the next best option that everybody thought on the board was either Sam Darnold or let's see, yeah, because they passed on Sam Darnold, they passed on Baker Mayfield, they passed on Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Gosh, when you put it that way.
But
That's
Josh Allen
definitely-
was a guy. Josh Allen was a guy who you say he wasn't projected to be there. Josh Allen was a guy that was projected to be the number 1 overall pick going into his junior year at Wyoming. So he had not the greatest year there, but cannon for an arm, right? Accuracy issues, but he was a guy who was going to be a top 10 pick regardless. And so that's
Sure.
a guy who I think that if you're the Giants and Eli Manning at 36 years old is your quarterback, why are you taking a running back in the first round? In fact, when I was going through all these teams, you know how many of these running backs that were drafted in the first round, their teams actually have a winning record with them? 3. Sony Michel, which not any thanks to him, by the way.
Right.
You know, Zeke
Right.
Elliott.
And he's
Zeke
gone
Elliott is
anyways now,
one.
too, Zeke.
Yeah, and then the other one was I have here. Oh, I don't really have it here. But anyways, you guys like Josh Jacobs, 15 and 17.
I was about to say, I
Oh,
think it shouldn't be
Yeah,
Josh Jacobs.
Rashad Penny's the other one who absolutely did
Rashad
nothing.
Penny.
And
There
then
we go, yeah.
15.
And then Chris Carson, 6th rounder ends up stepping up.
So
being
yeah,
the
you just
guy.
don't take a running back in the first round. That's a wasted pick.
Yeah, especially in the past Happy League. So Wayne G, I totally agree with you 100%. So I think
I see it.
I think my internet's coming back on, but there's some wicked storms coming, guys. So if we randomly cut out, it's because I probably lost power or internet or something. So Wayne G, what's up next, brother?
So this one, I'm not sure how into it you guys are going to be because it's a basketball. That's debatable. I know you guys aren't really huge basketball guys, but this one is the NBA draft lottery needs lottery reform. And what I came up with is this: 4 stipulations for the NBA draft lottery. Number 1, the lottery determines all the picks order, not just the top 3. So, in the NBA, only the top 3 picks are determined by the lottery, and all the
Right.
rest of them are based on record. They should determine all 15 picks by the lottery balls. 2, every team gets 1 ball. So none of these like 17,000 combinations for this team. Just every team gets 1 ping pong ball, and that's it. So if you just missed the playoffs and you went 45 and 37, you're going to get 1 ball, and the team that went 10 and 72 is going to get 1 ball. So you have the same opportunity as them. Now, to counter that, no team can get a top 3 pick in consecutive years. And then lastly, picks can only be protected for 1 season when you trade them. I hate seeing these like, oh, it's lottery protected this year and top 10 protected this year and top 5 protected this year. No, you can protect it for 1 season and that's it when you trade it.
Wyatt, go ahead.
I think that would definitely take out the tanking side of the game for sure.
I think that's the
I
goal,
don't know
right?
though, because I don't know. I feel like that would really stack some of the middle teams there, and then some teams like that suck for years would just suck for years and years now, because if you go 10 and 72 and you get the 12th overall pick, you're not doing anything with that. I mean, yeah, you might, every couple of years you might get an influential player, but in every NBA draft, normally you've got your top 5 guys and it's kind of just sprinkled on out from there. That's tough. I would say, I wouldn't mind it either way. The refinement would be fine. I would just want to make sure that like the 10 and 72 teams still had a little bit of an opportunity to get a better player than, say, a team that had 45 wins. I think, because if you take a team that had 45 wins over a team that had 10 wins and you stick a LaMelo Ball on that team or a Zion Williamson, I just think that makes an overpowered team. And then the team that was terrible just kind of stays terrible for a while. That's kind of the point of the lottery is not guaranteeing that first overall pick, but with all the combinations and stuff, you get a better percentage. What is it, like the top team has a 14% chance? Isn't that what it is, Wayne G?
I think it's like crazy, like 25% or something like that. They've really
It is?
revamped it. So the top 3 teams have like equal chances.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I knew it was something like a higher number like that, but at the same time, I do like kind of seeing these teams like the Pelicans sneaking up there and getting a Zion over a team like the Knicks who tanked that entire year to try and get a Zion, which that was hilarious whenever that happened. But
But that's the point. How do you win only 10 games and not have tanked? Like that's the only way you can actually only win 10 games.
Yeah. So
I mean, sure, yeah, I see that, but
So
I mean,
Wyatt
if
keeps
we have
waffling around
teams-
the answer here. Let me give you a straight answer here, Wayne G. Hashtag waffle for Wyatt. So Wyatt, you say you don't want middle of the road teams to have a Cade Cunningham come to their team. So instead of 15 teams that miss the playoffs, let's cut it down to 10 teams, right? So those teams that just miss the playoffs they are, picks 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and then only the top 10 teams are in that bubble race. Anyways, Wayne, I think that is a great idea just because basketball is the worst sport as far as the draft comes, is because I feel basketball is the only sport that you can legitimately tank too, because we see it. You sit your star players. Oh, he has a nagging turf toe. He has a hangnail. Oh, he has back spasm, personal issues. We saw it. And if you do the single ball for the top 10 teams, or sorry, not the top 10, but the bottom 10 teams, or I believe Brandon Combs even said something. What about a postseason tournament for these bad teams? And the worst of the bad teams get the first overall pick. But I do like the one ball thing for the top 10 or for the bottom 10.
Well, the reason the tournament doesn't work and that this is better than the tournament is because this is still random, right? We don't know who the top team is going to be. With the tournament, it's probably going to be the best team that missed the playoffs is going to win it.
Right. Yeah.
In that case, you're giving the best teams the top players.
So are you for the one ball, Wayne?
Absolutely. This is my reformed idea. I've sent it into them, I think. This is you give one ball, and like I said, and just that way it's so random. Like those teams that tank, like I said, the 10 and 72 team that totally lost on purpose because LeBron was in the draft. Right now, they get the 7th pick in the draft. Meanwhile, the team that went 45 and 37 and missed in the West because they're on the West, right? They get LeBron James on their team. So I think that's great.
Yeah. So why you said something about you don't want a team that just missed the playoffs getting a top overall guy to build a super team. What is the NBA free agency right now? Building super teams, right? So what's the difference?
Oh, I don't say it's like building super teams, but I just say, if a team goes 10 and 72, you have to try to lose that many games. But let's say, a team gives their all and they just simply suck. I mean, that's just that simple. And they only win 22 games, and that is literally the best that they could do. If this were to happen and they get the 10th overall pick, there was no improvement. They're not making any strides to be better. But on the other side, I do see why this would be valuable, because it does take away the tanking side of the game. So you would have more genuine scores of guys trying to win more games.
So go ahead, Wayne.
I'll say that 10 and 60 or the 20 and 62 team, right? What they're going to have to do is build their team through free agency. And what you're going to have is with all these star players, let's say, or top draft picks, maybe going to the same teams, which I don't think it would work out that way. But if it does, then they're all going to be free agents in 4 years. So now that team that went 20 and 62, if they're really that bad, then they probably have a ton of cap space, and they're going to be able to sneak in and get some of these players that the top teams wouldn't be able to keep. So
here's how you really fix it, right? Every time a player goes into free agency, you throw him into the draft too. That would fix it. So
just pick Kevin Durant with the first. Kevin Durant gets selected with the first overall pick.
Yeah, he gets.
Times.
Yeah, he gets.
His career's over with.
How awesome would that
be?
Kevin
Durant and LeBron both get picked first overall 8 times.
Well, isn't LeBron James a 16th ranked player now in the NBA, right, Wayne?
17th, yeah.
17th. Right? There you go.
I mean, if LeBron James entered the NBA draft right now, I think that he would at least, he would definitely go, if not one, he would go top 3 for sure.
He enters the draft right now at age 34 or 35, whatever he is. He goes 30th at best.
No way. He's a win for you today guy.
You're going to take him over a young player that's going to give you the next 15 years. You're going to take him for 2 years. No way you're taking him number 1.
Absolutely.
No,
because LeBron James has proven me he can win. I don't know if this other guy can win yet. LeBron James has worked in the league for 16 years now.
Disclaimer, I am a LeBron James fan, but you are telling me that if LeBron James was to join the Detroit Pistons right now, they are a 60-win team? Absolutely not. they are like a
I mean, no, they're not a
17-win
60-win team.
team.
They would win more games with him than they would if they had Cade Cunningham. I mean, if you switch
don't
those two out,
I
they
doubt it.
definitely win more for
Right,
sure.
but you got to think beyond one season if you're drafting a guy. Now, I guess in Buck's idea where you're drafting every year, then yeah, maybe you take him in the top 20. But I'm saying that if you're picking a guy for the remainder of his career, right, you're not taking LeBron James in the first round, maybe not even in the second round, because he's only
Well,
going to
sure.
give you two years, and you're not going to win anything.
What-
You got to build.
He
for
would
the
at least
future.
go. He would at least go before the end of the first round, because once you get to the end of the first round is your best teams, and he's going to be a guy that can win for you right now. So like, he's at least going to go in the top 15 without.
Oh, see, I
without
thought
a
you were
doubt.
saying. I thought you were kind of doing that whole everybody in the NBA's in the draft, like every player.
No. I'm saying if LeBron James entered the NBA draft right now with all of the rookie prospects, with Cade Cunningham, with all those guys,
Yeah, that's kind of.
he would definitely go top 5.
But
Yeah.
when we're talking about how good he ranks, like I said, I
Yeah.
have him 17th overall in the league. I'm saying if you put him into a draft with all the players in the league, he goes in like the 3rd or 4th round.
Oh, yes. That, yes, absolutely. I don't know about 3rd or 4th. I would say late first round.
All right, Wayne, do you got any
Mid
more
to
for
late
us
first round.
for that's debatable?
Sure, I'll give you one more. This one's kind of a fun one to debate the NFL halftime show, right? We all hate the Super Bowl halftime show. It sucks every year.
Facts.
So I said, let's make it interesting. Let's say the NFL gets 3, performers that they want to have, and they put it out to a fan vote. And whoever wins gets to perform at the halftime show. Second place gets to perform the national anthem. And third place doesn't get to do anything. So it's very much like Glengarry Glen Ross when Alec Baldwin says, first prize is a car, second prize is steak knives, third prize you're fired.
Love it. Go ahead, Wyatt. So, like, are you asking what artist we would want it for the vote?
No, I'm just saying that what do you think about
Oh.
that whole thing? Just having the fans vote on it. And like I said, first place is the anthem, or first place is the halftime show, second place is the anthem.
Sure, I think that would be really cool. We all know the NFL would never do that, though, because they are the no fun league. But sure, yeah, I mean, that would be cool for the fans to kind of get to decide which artists that they were going to listen to at halftime. I think that would be really nice, and it's a good way for the NFL to interact with its fans at the same time as you still get an artist to perform at halftime, still get a national anthem person, but the fans kind of get to decide who does what.
Yeah, I mean, like, I would love it, like, if the fans got to vote for the 3 people that were in, like, the finals kind of like the Major League does the All-Star voting, right? You can select from, like, all the artists and, like, hey, these top 3 artists are, like, in the finals, and then you picked. But then you would have, like, high school kids like Joey here picking, like, mumble rappers like it's time. That would be freaking awesome. But I would actually vote for myself, because how awesome would it be to hear Stuttering Buck stutter through the national anthem? But I still bet you I could sing it better than the person that forgot the words a couple years ago. 100%. Who was that forgot the words? Was that Katy Perry that forgot the words? Was it or something? I don't know.
Somebody every other year forgets the
Yeah,
words.
yeah, but honestly,
Like
I
30
just want
singing it at the NBA All-Star game.
I just
bad.
want them to bring people that we like to the halftime show. Like, who in the hell wants to watch 87-year-old Kiss like out there? Me and, like, I know Wayne, you're probably like a Kiss guy, but
Well, Kiss is better than the Who.
Kiss,
I'll tell you
bro.
that.
but
Kiss is
like
definitely better than who.
but like I'm like, bring Janet Jackson out there. I would like to see some boobs again. Shit, why not?
Well, then I guess we'll end it with that. So let's say your dream halftime show. Who do you guys got?
Dream halftime show. Why? I'll let you go first because you're a country boy.
Dream halftime show.
Yeah, because it's got to
Like,
be a killer
the
performance,
artist-
right?
Artist in their prime.
Artist right now,
Artist right
2021.
now. Yeah.
Oh, artist right now. I'm a big Luke Combs guy. That would be really cool. I saw Luke Combs in person. Luke Combs is incredible. I would say Luke Combs, and then give the national anthem to. I want to kind of mix it up. Give me a hip hop person with a really good voice. Let's do like Post Malone. Post Malone with the national anthem. I feel like that would be pretty good.
Yeah. So my halftime show. So let me ask you this, Wayne. Do you want a halftime show, like a performance, light, smoke, fire, or do you want like a concert halftime show?
I want whatever you would want to see at halftime. And it
Chris
can be a duo,
Stapleton.
like-
Chris Stapleton,
okay.
hands down, the best person I've.
He does not fit.
Have you seen Chris Stapleton live? He will blow.
Oh, Chris Stapleton is a heck of an artist. I love his
He will
music.
take his
but he does
voice,
not
he
fit
will
that
put it
vibe.
through your soul and like blow you out of the water, and you just sit there and you're like, that voice came out of that guy, like Chris Stapleton. Chris Stapleton.
Oh, Chris Stapleton's incredible. Don't get me wrong. It just doesn't fit the vibe.
How about this?
The situation.
How about this? MGK mixed with Chris Stapleton.
No, that would not work. No.
So I've got my first place runner-up is this. First place, just because I'm such a huge fan, Garth Brooks halftime show. I think
that'd be great.
Garth Brooks would be great.
And then if I'm not going to go Garth Brooks, though, how about a duo, Eminem, Kid Rock?
Oh, that'd be good from Detroit.
That would be that would be all right. Yeah.
Wait, is it sober Eminem or drugged Eminem?
I think it's sober now because it's 2021, right?
Oh, damn. Drugged Eminem was so good.
He'll give you the old stuff, though.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. All right, Wayne. Thank you for joining us, guys. Wayne G is with us every Thursday at 8:45 East Coast time here on the Man Hour. Obviously, Wayne. Any shameless plugs before you head out, man?
Sure. Check out Infinity Sports. That's my podcast. I do a solo show for the first half hour. Second half hour, I do an interview with a player, coach, or actor. And we are on the Belly Up Sports Network, where you can also find a bunch of my blogs. I just did one called What If NBA Edition. What if Len Bias hadn't died? What if Michael Jordan hadn't retired? It's a really great article. Check it out.
Yeah. All right, Wayne. Well, man, as always, thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on That's Debatable. We appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
All right, guys. And on that note, we are going to head to our next break. We're going to answer some questions at the coming into hour number 2 here. Wyatt, you are out as well, so I am flying solo for the rest of the show, guys. So feel free to interact with us here in the chat. But we are going to go to break, and I'm going to answer those questions and comments that you guys have coming through here. Wyatt, you want to say anything before you head out, big guy?
Yeah, sure. Just appreciate everybody for tuning in tonight, saying hi. Had a lot of fun. Love doing this, but got to get back to my work real quick. Got to finish some stuff up before we start class next week, and then everything's starting to roll. Ready to get started.
All right, guys. As always,
orientations.
Yeah, as always, Wyatt will be back here next week once he gets settled in there, once he gets in the groove of the college life. And Fantasy Podcast is coming back Wednesday as well. So stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back here after this quick little break on the Man Hour. Mike's Thoughts. And welcome back here to Man Hour, guys. Michael Buckeister here with the Man Hour. Head over to manhourradio.com and check out the blog section, check out the merchandise section, and of course, if you missed any part of the show whatsoever, you simply click on the podcast form there, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and of course Spotify, and you can check out the full show there. But if you want to see just a certain little part of that, if you wanted to hear us talk about halftime show for Super Bowl with like Wayne G, head over to youtube.com/man hour, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, guys. We are just 5 subscribers away from 1700 here, as you guys saw here on the break headline there. We're 99.65% to our goal here. My goal was to get to 1700 subscriptions by September 1, so we are right there, guys. So share this with some friends, you know, become a member and all that good stuff. So during the break, guys, somehow, so I had this, I'm sitting on my old wood chair right now, because like my desk chair is still in their storage unit and like whatnot, I'm not fully moved in. I see Luke G there saying blink twice if I'm in trouble, but the chair literally just split. Here, let me see if I can pull it up. Like, look at that, guys. Like, how does that happen? Like, I'm just sitting here and I go and scratch my back and boom, it just breaks. What? Like, and I'm not a big guy. I mean, like, you know, I'm 6'2", 230, but like, man, I'm not a huge guy by like any means, but damn, it just goes. That is that is crazy. But guys, let me go ahead and jump into some YouTube comments here. We were getting tight on time and coming into the break here. Luke G, welcome back to the chat, man. We have not seen Luke G here for a while. If you guys do not know who Luke G is, Luke G does a Detroit Lions podcast. I believe it's called Luke G's Field Review. I'll post a link in the description here at the end of the show. But he does a weekly Detroit Lions podcast, and he says, if it's your birthday, happy birthday, Blake. So because Nana gave Blake Zender a huge shout out birthday tonight. It is his, I believe, 19th birthday. So big shout out to Blake. Blake is a former player of mine. So Nana also says, yep, there's crazy storms here. We're running through Bucks in mine area, guys. It is crazy outside right now. And then Drew says Bucks in the closet. No, Drew, I actually came out of the closet last Tuesday, so I'm officially out of the closet. I'm living life and all that good stuff. No, not really like that. But guys, once I get settled in my house, like I will have like all of my Chiefs gear and some other gear up here, some past, you know, football helmets and cleats and all that stuff. So just give me some time to get settled. I mean, I'm working like 4 jobs right now. I'm a football coach. I work my full-time job. I do the man hour. Plus, we're trying to pull wallpaper off our wall. So that's a full-time job in itself. So Tori Anderson is in the house. He says he's here for the sports bang. Yes, sir. We love some sports banging over here. And he says Tori Anderson also says 2 live crew for the Super Bowl halftime show. I don't know who 2 Live Crew is, Tori. I have no idea who that is. That must be way before my time. And then he says 2 Live Crew, NWA, and Rage Against Machine. NWA is a big pass. I think they're overrated. But Rage Against Machine, I'd do some Rage. And then he says, who the hell is Chris Stapleton? Tori, if you do not know who Chris Stapleton is, you need to look up Tennessee Whiskey right here on YouTube right now. And you will absolutely love it. Luke Combs is a country artist. He's all right. And then Mike hasn't had an original thought since he got married. Facts. 100% facts on that. Then Tori says, free somebody. I can't see it. Let me shrink my, let me think. Free Bo, hashtag free Bo. Yeah, we have not seen Bo in the chat for like a little while. So if you guys are friends with Bo here, tell him to get his back over here. Wood, and then Drew says my wood dry watered out. Very true. It could have been. Let me go ahead and jump over to Facebook. Make sure those comments happening over there. Yeah, that was Wayne G saying the Broncos do have some weapons. Melvin Gordon, Judy, Sutton, and Hamler. Absolutely correct on that, Wayne G. You are absolutely 100% correct on that. But guys, it is time to get into some more NFL talk here for about the last half hour of the show. Then we'll open it up to some shop talk. And whatnot. Oh, geez, Buck, I don't listen to incense music. But whatever. Nonetheless, let's get into some Mac Jones talk here, guys. So the New England Patriots and the New York Giants have been holding joint practices for the last 3 or 4 days here. And the Patriots and Mac Jones have been flat out flexing on the New York Giants 100%. Mac Jones did take his 3rd day in a row with the reps with the he took his reps with the first string for the 3rd day in a row, I should say. Mixed around the words there, but you get what I was trying to say. So the question that I wanted to propose to everybody is with Mac Jones taking these snaps with the first string now for the third day in a row, and he has been turning heads at this joint practice. Is Mac Jones going to be the starter? And I'm going to answer that question everything is pointing to yes right now. Why else would you be taking snaps with the first stringers? Why else would you be getting put up on this pedestal? Why else would Drew Belichick be saying, I don't know who my starter is? Yes, we know who Bill Belichick is and like whatnot, but you know, he never gives us that straight answer by any means. But in the end, it's just like, man, at one point, Cam Newton was going to be the savior in New England, and he looked great the first 4 or 5 weeks of the 2020 season. Then he got quarantined with missed 2 weeks and plus a bye week. He came back rusty as heck, and he doesn't look very good right now. Let's just be honest. Cam Newton does not look very good. I mean, he is a over the hill hurt quarterback. It hurts me watching him throw the ball, much like Phillip Rivers like last year. So, guys, let me know in the chat here. What do you guys think? Is Mac Jones going to be the starter in New England? Hashtag yes or hashtag no here in the comments. And I got to give you a hashtag yes. I think Mac Jones, come week 1, is going to be the starter 100%. There is no questions asked because we are going into the third preseason game, the final preseason game, and he's been taking snaps with the first stringers all week versus the New York Football Giants, who they play this week in the preseason game, and he's turning heads. So he is turning heads as in like he's doing good things. He is making good, strong throws. He is making the people around him better. So then the next question has to be raised here. Does this raise some red flags for the New York Giants that a rookie quarterback, that this is just his third day taking snaps with the first strings, that are whooping the crap out of the New York Giants in joint practices? Yes, I know what you guys are saying. Joint practices, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But I think the joint practices are more competitive than the actual preseason games themselves, because there's actually starters versus starters going head-to-head, play after play after play after play. This is why we see most of our fights are those joint practices, is because people are going at each other's throats for 2-3 hours like at a time, and it's not a one series type of thing. So guys, this is raised for concerns for the New York Football Giants, and this is a must win year for Daniel Jones too. So this is all types of red flags that, you know, the Giants are kind of just like, I had them as a sleeper team this year. I think Torrey had a sleeper team this year. Combs and like Wyatt still kind of had them like a 5-6 win season. But I said, don't be surprised if somehow they can sneak up and win this division, because they got better last year without Saquon. Saquon's back, and then all of a sudden, you know, they are looking like the way they're doing, and it's absolutely crazy. So I want to address a comment that Drew posted here in the chat earlier, and I wrote it down, and he says, why can you not have a 2 quarterback system? Why can you not start one quarterback versus this team and the next quarterback versus this team? They have tried that in the NFL before Drew. Look at Miami last year. Now this is not like, hey, the Buffalo Bills struggle against the run, so we're gonna start Cam versus this game. So, you know, let him run the ball and run that power I, and then and then we can say and then we say the Miami Dolphins struggle against the pass. So let's put Mac Jones in to start this game. 2-system quarterback play does not work, because a quarterback is the leader of the team. When you start relying on your leader of the team, and then all of a sudden the leader is second string or not playing that game, then you have to find a brand new leader. It is very, very hard on everybody, in the locker room, on the team. It's even hard for the coaching staff. I mean, like me as a defensive coach, I hate subbing my linebackers out just because they're my leaders on the field, and I need to know. Hey, I need to know LaShawn, like when I signal in the play, I'm looking for him. I don't want to look for my backup. You know, I mean, like, I'm not saying, you know, high school ball is the same as the NFL, but a two quarterback system just simply doesn't work. It doesn't work in high school. It doesn't work in college. It doesn't work in the NFL. Give me one. How about this? Give me one college team that had a successful two quarterback system. Would Alabama even be considered a two quarterback system? I don't think so. Just because, you know, they started one over the other because he got hurt, not because they're looking for a different dynamic. But look at the NFL when they started doing the Wildcat a couple years ago with Tim Tebow and like all those boys. It's just you cannot get in the flow of the game. You cannot get in the rhythm of the game like that. That's just why it does not work. And I'm going to look up at the comments here, and that's exactly what Tori Anderson just said. He says, two quarterback systems have never worked in history of football. No consistency and no rhythm. You were absolutely right on that, Tori. I couldn't agree more, but like obviously you put it in better words than I do because you're great with words. He also says that the Giants are the second best team in the NFC East. Tori, you might be correct. The Giants are the second best team behind the Dallas Cowboys, in front of the Eagles and the football team. So, yeah, they are definitely the second best team in the NFC East if Daniel Jones plays the way he can play. And quite frankly, he does not appear to be playing very well. So let's go ahead and, speaking of NFC East here, guys, let's go ahead and jump on this Dak Prescott train here. Dak Prescott did team drills for the first time in a month since injuring his shoulder here. Was it July 27th, I believe, when he injured his shoulders. Mike McCarthy come out in a post-practice interview today saying that he is basically a cage lion. He is looking to get out. He is looking to start throwing the ball around the field, and just he wants to be the guy. So I'm going to propose this question to myself and you people in the chat as well. Should the Cowboys keep the leash on Dak Prescott? Should they keep true to the word of a, quote, pitch count? Should they keep true to his word of, like, you know, not letting him push the ball down the field 20-plus yards? And yes, they should. I have been a firm believer that there are all types of red flags flying everywhere here in Dallas Cowboy camp, you know, with, you know, holding Dak back, not letting him practice and like all this stuff. And there's a reason why they're doing that. But now all of a sudden Dak wants to get out and sling the ball for 85 passes and 400 yards. Like, no, that is not going to happen, Dak, because obviously your shoulder's fucked up. Let's just be flat out honest. Your shoulder is messed up somehow, some way. So you can be a cage lion all you want, but at the end of the day, you are hurt. And with that being said, as a head coach, as a general manager, as an offensive coordinator, as a quarterback coach, you have to protect your assets moving forward. Dak Prescott is arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. That's right. Arguably a top 5 quarterback in the NFL. And if you let him go and expose his injury, you know, in this preseason game or even week 1 versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it is not good for the Dallas Cowboys, because on paper right now, the Dallas Cowboys are a 12-win team. They are a Super Bowl caliber team with Dak Prescott as the quarterback. Let me repeat that for you guys. The Dallas Cowboys with Dak Prescott at the quarterback all 17 games this season are a 12-win team and Super Bowl caliber team. Better than the Bucs, better than the Cardinals, better than the Seahawks, better than the 49ers, better than your Packers, Tori. Yes, Drew, I said your Arizona Cardinals too. They are the best team in the NFC with Dak Prescott at the helm. They need to keep this harness on Dak Prescott. I would almost send him out week 1 and just take that L and pull a Bill Belichick move. Hold your cards close to the vest, because you don't want to give the Tampa Bay Buccaneers any film on you guys moving forward through the playoffs whatsoever. Keep the cards close to your vest. Put in what's his name? Danny DiNucci, or whatever his name is. I can't think of his first name right now, but DiNucci, the big guy, the 6'4", 280-pound quarterback, looks like Cam Newton, like almost. Let him take the beating from the Bucks, and just, there's a problem with Dak. Keep the leash on him one way, 100%. So Torrey Anderson comes out, or Drew comes out and says that he will take the Giants over the Cowboys in the NFC East, and Torrey Anderson gives me the Washington, Giants, Cowboys, and then the Eagles as the correct order of the win to loss category here. And Torrey Anderson also says they should cut Zeke. He is overrated. Torrey Anderson, you said they should cut Zeke because he is overrated. So Brandon Combs tried to do the whole Zeke is overrated statement here. And when Brandon Combs looked up at the stats, Zeke was leading in every major category since he entered the league with rushing yards, attempts, touchdown, pass catching, and everything. How is Zeke overrated just because he hasn't won a playoff game, because they haven't won a Super Bowl? I mean, if you want to say anything's overrated, is the whole Cowboys roster at this point is overrated, because look at the roster on paper: Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Gallup, and they had a pretty damn good defense a couple years ago. Every year we talk about Dallas Cowboys are a Super Bowl caliber team on paper, and it starts with Zeke Elliott. Zeke Elliott is the heart and soul of this team, Mr. Torrey Anderson. So for you say today they should cut him, you are absolutely out of your mind for thinking that, because if Mike McCarthy had a brain in his head, which I feel I could coach the Dallas Cowboys and win 10 games easily, give the ball to Zeke left, give this ball to Zeke right, slant route to Michael Gallup, bada bing, bada boom, I'm 15 yards downfield, give the ball to Zeke to right, give the ball to Zeke to the left. Zeke Elliott needs to touch the ball 25 plus times every game. I mean, that is just the way it is going to be. They need to run the piss out of the ball, then open up the passing game. So with that being said, he also says he's overrated or overweight from all that chunky soup. I think he meant to say and overweight. He can be overweight all he wants. I want Zeke to be thick so we can run through the tackles. I want to run a 36 tap power. I want to run a 35 power. Give me that power eye and give the ball to Zeke. Let the man eat. Let him eat all that chunky soup. Give the man the first down. Bada bing, feed him some more. The Cowboys going to the Super Bowl, Torrey. You should know this by now, brother. And he says Jerry Jones should coach the team. Absolutely not. Jerry Jones is a bad general manager. He just stay in the underbox and continue to promote the Cowboys that he's been doing since 89, I think he took over. I'm not for sure. He says you are a better coach than McCarty Buck. I'm absolutely right. I have a great football mind on the field. Like I can coach myself out of a wet paper sack, even if it's dry. Put that on a t-shirt and smoke it. And then Drew says it's counterproductive. What is counterproductive, Drew? Please let me know what is counterproductive so I can. I believe you're talking about keeping Dak on a leash. So I mean, I could see it being counterproductive, because if he is healthy, I mean, you're obviously holding your star guy back. You're like just like as you said, your heart and soul of the Dallas Cowboys. You're absolutely correct on that 100%. But there's a reason why he hasn't done team drills in a month, Drew. There is a reason why he has done light tossing. Like I'm talking like playing catch with my son, and hopefully he doesn't catch the ball in his face. I'm throwing it super soft. That's the way Dak's been thrown. There's a reason why they contacted the Texas Rangers to talk about the shoulder injuries. Something's clearly wrong, so you need to hold him back 100%. And he says DiNucci, yep. And then he said Zeke couldn't carry that team last year. He is not that good. So the reason why Zeke could not carry the team last year, Torrey, let me pull up his stats. Let me pull up Zeke Elliott's stats from last year. I feel like he was only getting like 15 touches a game. I mean, obviously Mike McCarthy is a very pass happy guy, and you know he had the receivers. So as soon as my thing decides to load here, my internet's going super slow because we're streaming right now, like obviously. But let's pull up the stats here. NFL.com. Bada bing, bada boom. Dallas Cowboys are 0-3 in the preseason. Yeah, we know that. We know that. All right. So here we go. Rushing, Zeke Elliott. So he only had 244 attempts on 979 yards with 15 games played. So he sat out one game. Like, obviously, average. So Tori, he averaged 4 yards a carry with 6 touchdowns, and the fumbles were an issue last year. I give you that, but when you average 4 yards a carry, that's probably top 10 in the NFL. I mean, granted, you have over like 200 like attempts because you always have that one guy that is rushes for 80 yards on 2 carries or whatever, something ridiculous, right? But come on, man. 15 games played, 244 attempts. That needs to be about 400 attempts. Let's look at King Henry stats like last year. Yes, I know he rushed for the 2,000 yards, right? Last season, what was it? 2,027 or whatever it was. So 2-0 in the preseason. I knew that. Yeah, it was 2027. So Derrick Henry had over 150 more attempts than him. He's sitting at 378 attempts. That's where Zeke needs to be. Derrick Henry only averaged 4.4 yards a carry. Zeke averaged 4. So they're right at the same boat. That half yard difference, I mean, obviously is a little bit better, but still, like, come on. They're both averaging 4 yards a carry, and you get 150 more yards or 150 more attempts than me. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. And Drew says, I understand that, but without Dak, they don't win. Dak is heart, soul. Okay, we will address that here in a little bit. Tori says Zeke equals trash. You know who else equals trash? The Lamar Jackson poster that's going to be sitting right there. I'm going to have Lamar Jackson's face right there on the wall with the mouth cut out with the trash can in it so I can throw my trash in it, because that's what Lamar Jackson is. Tori Anderson's average being the key word. He is average at best. He is trash. So, Tori, let me ask you this. Zeke Elliott averages 4 yards a carry. Derrick Henry averages 4.4 yards a carry. One had just under 1,000 yards. One had just over 2,000 yards. One had almost 400 carries. One had 200 carries. Same person in my eyes, right? I mean, that is what it is. So let's go ahead and jump back into Dak here. Drew says Dak is the heart and soul of the team. He has proved that last season. Last season is kind of a fluke. I mean, like I believe Wyatt Williams said it best. You have to put an asterisk by all 2020 season. Yes, Dak was great for the first 4 or 5 weeks of the season before he got hurt. Yes, he still led the league in passing for 4 weeks after that per Combs. Like I haven't looked that up by any means, but like obviously we see it. But I mean, as a starting quarterback, I mean, you are going to be the quote heart and soul of the team. You are going to be the leader of the team. You are going to be that guy because you're making that money. You should be the first guy in the locker room. You should be the last guy out of the locker room. You should be taking your lineman out to dinner, yada yada yada. But something was wrong with the Dallas Cowboys last year. I don't know what it was, but if you watch your game from week 3 on, watch how the offensive linemen treat the quarterback. I'm not saying just Andy Dalton or DiNucci or Dak. Just as a whole, after the play, are they picking up that quarterback? After their quarterback gets sacked, how many linemen there are there to help him up? Zero were helping them up. Let's flash back to the play where Andy Dalton got knocked the F out by the Washington football team. How many people were there fighting for him? How many people helped him up? I didn't see one offensive player on that side. Something was not chemistry clicking with the Dallas Cowboys last year. So with that being said, the chemistry is a big thing. and this offseason is a bigger thing for Dak Prescott and the boys, and hopefully the Dallas Cowboys can find what they've been missing, on the whole chemistry aspect of things, and all that good stuff. Scroll back up here. Average being the word. He is average at best. He is trash. I understand that's why he hasn't been practicing. So Dak hasn't been practicing because he's been hurt. The Dallas D is trash. We'll see this year. Who did they draft in the linebacker to replace Sean Lee? Was it Micah Parkins? I believe it was. So hopefully they figure that out here. But guys, we're going to take a quick little break. I'm going to open up Shop Talk here. So if you guys want to talk about anything, let us know here in the comments. Let me get the old tunes going as we transition out. If you guys want to talk about anything, let me know here in the chat on YouTube or Facebook. You guys can always find us on Big X Sports Radio, 313 The Flash, and starting next week, Belly Up Sports as well with Wayne G. So we're really excited about that. So we'll be right back, guys, here on the Man Hour. Sometimes people do not like the blunt answer. But guys, welcome back to the Man Hour. I'm obviously in Michael Buckheim. If you miss any part of the show whatsoever, you can head to youtube.com/Man Hour. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon. We upload clips 5 to 6 times a day. So every Sunday through Thursday, I upload a clip at 8 a.m., 11 a.m., 2 p.m., and 5 p.m. East Coast time. And then on Fridays and Saturdays, I sprinkle in the 8 p.m. hour because there's no show there. We are live here on youtube.com/Man Hour every Sunday through Thursday at 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. East Coast time. And then the After Shower show is live here every day as well when all the boys are around. We also got a fantasy show every Wednesday at 10:45 with Tori and the Wyatt Williams. But the biggest news that I want to get to tonight, we sprinkled it here on the first part of the show, but for you guys that are tuning in late here, we are giving away a trip to Vegas. So if you guys want to jump into the description here to get entered into this Vegas trip, all you have to do is become a member here on Man Hour Nation. Go to youtube.com/Man Hour and hit that join button, and you become a gold member, a $5.99 member a month. You'll get entered to win a trip to Las Vegas here in April 2022 here with the Man Hour. We'll be going the weekend of the NFL draft, and we will pay for your flight and 3 days in a hotel. So we cannot guarantee you things into the draft, but we will get you to Vegas and you can party and have a good time with the Man Hour. You can also get extra entries by winning the weekly point race here. Right now, Drew is on top with 290. Gunnar Poor, my nephew here, is at 190, 195, and I'm at 120, and Nana's at 90, and Tori's at 70. So guys, you can play games here. You can gamble every 5 minutes. You can actually it's 15 minutes still. I need to adjust it down to 5 minutes. So you can share this like Brandon Combs did earlier. Brandon Combs gets a extra entry into the Vegas trip if he was a member. So I mean, share, like, comment, and all that good stuff, guys. Will get you entered into that Vegas trip. So this is time for Shop Talk. So there are some questions rolling in. So let's go ahead and answer some of those questions that is being asked. So Tori Anderson's, let's talk about how great Aaron Rodgers is going to be this season. I agree with you, Tori. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have an MVP caliber season. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to win now he's not going to win the MVP. He isn't going to win the NFC North, Tori. He's not even going to make the playoffs. They're going to be 10-7 behind the Detroit Lions in NFC North and for second place, maybe even third place, depending on what the Minnesota Vikings do. We haven't talked anything about the Vikings, but the Vikings are secretly very freaking good. Let's be flat out honest, like about that. But Aaron Rodgers might have a Winston type of year, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions, because we see Funchins is like on the IR now. Devontae Adams, quote, their last ride. So how much is his head really into this season? And then number 2, who do you have? I don't know. Who do you got for your number two guys? The People's guy. I mean, yeah, you got your tight ends, and you have shoot, who's the other receiver? Slipped out my mind. The other Functions guy, but that was opted out for COVID. But either way, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions is probably an expectation for Aaron Rodgers this season. Let's just be flat out honest. 10-7 at best for the Packers. I hope for my wife's sake when we go there to opening day, when we watch the Detroit Lions. Big shout out to you, Tori, for hooking me up with those tickets and making her 40th birthday a very much success. But I'm going to be secretly rooting for the Detroit Lions. I might have a Detroit Lions t-shirt underneath my Aaron Rodgers jersey for that. So with that being said, Tori says, what are we betting? Let's bet pierced ears, Tori. How about this? If the Detroit Lions win the division, you got to pierce your ears. If the Packers win the division, I got to pierce my ears. So we'll do a ear piercing betting, like, if you want to talk about that. So next up here, he says, let's talk about Buck for head coach of the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. I do not want to go to Western Kentucky. Tori, have you ever been out to Western Kentucky? It's worse than Kansas, man. Like, you can literally look 100 miles and you will see nothing but all like those tumbleweed balls rolling through the thing. Like, Western Kentucky is bad. If I ever wanted to coach college, you know where I want to go? You know where I want to go? I want to go to IUIPU. That's where I want to go. It's Indiana of Purdue University, or I don't know what it is, but it's it's UP. Like, Wyatt would know better, but whatever. No, honestly, like, if I ever had an opportunity to coach at the college level, I would jump at it hands down. I don't care if it's offense, special teams, defense, an assistant to an assistant. I don't care. I would love to coach at the college level, hands down. Javier says, let's talk about the Canes that will upset Alabama. So let's talk a little bit about college football here. Week 0 starts Saturday. We have Nebraska versus Illinois, UConn versus Fresno State, Hawaii, UCLA, UTEP, New Mexico State, Southern Utah, San Jose State. And then, of course, Wednesday you got the Jacksonville State, the Deion Sanders team himself versus UAB, all black colleges battling out in Montgomery, Alabama. But the game that you want to talk about, Javier, is actually the true Week 1 game here. Alabama taking on who are they taking on? Sorry, I haven't scrolled down far enough. they're taking on the Canes. It is a 3:30 game. Miami is on the road at Bama. So, Javier, I know you are a Florida guy, so I'm assuming you'll be rooting for the Canes, and that's why you said let's talk about how the Canes are going to upset Alabama. No. The Alabama can literally lose their whole starting lineup on both sides, and their second string can probably beat Miami. Let's just be flat out honest about it. There is no way Alabama loses the opening game for the first. You don't understand this, but college fans have not been in stadiums all. Yeah, some of them were in there, like 50%. This is gonna be a packed house. They're going to be rowdy. 3:30 game. They're going to be drunk. It is going to be hot. Give me Alabama all day long. Sorry, Javier, on that one. You'll see. Did you see Merrifield's Grand Slam? I did not see Whit Merrifield's Grand Slam. Did it happen today, Drew, in the afternoon game, or if it's happening right now? I haven't watched a Royals game. I've been watching Cocomelon. So all day long. He says no. The game is in Atlanta. I didn't know that. Okay, if the Alabama game is in Atlanta, yeah, that doesn't change my mind. It actually gives Alabama fans more an advantage, more seats, more echoey, all that good stuff. Drew says, "Howdy, Javier. Sorry, but I couldn't see anybody's comments." Oh, it's okay. And then Tori says, "Nebraska versus Illinois is a bowl game for both of those teams. The only chance they will get a win." So Tori says the opening game of the college football season is on Fox Sports, 1 p.m. East Coast time, 12 Central time, and Champaign, Illinois is the only chance that Nebraska and Illinois have a chance to win a game. Isn't Nebraska coach old Scott Frost that coached Central or University of Florida to those 2 undefeated seasons? I think Nebraska probably has 5 wins in them. I have not looked at any of their records, but just judging by the Big Ten alone, if they play the Rutgers, there's 1. If they play Syracuse, there's 2. I mean, come on, man. Like, 1 win, that's absolutely asinine there, Tori. You know that. Youngstown State, you'll see Hilltoppers. Yeah, I'm not for sure what a Hilltopper is, to be honest with you there, Tori. But let me go ahead and jump over to Facebook here, see if there's any comments. So actually, I'm not for sure what's going on here. But yeah, guys, so that is going to be it for tonight's show. We're going to wrap it up here. We will be back next Sunday night. The old fantasy draft is coming.